Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of our Instagram live session. My name, like I always say, has not changed. My name remains Azuh, Arinze, and our guest tonight is Dr. Kayode Ajulo. Dr. Kayode Ajulo is a lawyer, unionist, rights advocate, teacher, speaker, researcher, and politico. He is the founder, co-managing partner at Kayode Ajulo & Co., Castle of Law. He started out over 20 years ago as a federal attorney, Kum State Council, in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. A one-time National Secretary of the Labour Party, he graduated from the University of Jos with an LLB in 1999 and was called to the Nigerian Bar in 2001. He added a Master's LLM much later from the University of Jos. A believer in early marriage, Dr. Kayode Ajulo worked in the chambers of Afe Babalola and Tunji Abayomi before setting up shop on his own. Friends, fans, followers, join me as I try to bring on Dr. Kayode Ajulo. All right. My first question is, who exactly is a professional? Let's start from that. Who exactly is a professional?
Well, let me quickly go to where I know that one will not be faulted. And I think one of the things that has been so helpful is that when you talk of Oxford English Dictionary, has already defined what a professional is. And that is as simple as saying that anybody that belongs to a profession. So either you are a barber, you are a boxer, you are an artist, Nollywood. Once there's a professional, you are a member of that profession. You are a professional. Though by the time we interrogate that statement, it will take us to another position where you discuss how can you be a professional in every profession you find yourself. For example, if I'm going to say to be a journalist, not everybody can claim that they are a journalist. I want you to agree with me with that.
That's true.
That means that you need some prerequisite, there are conditions that has to be met. Maybe you study mass communication, some study literature. Apart from that, because I remember I have a brother who is a journalist. He has to, despite graduating from one of Nigerian university, he still has to go to International Institute of Journalism in Abuja. And after that, he has to write anything. Even despite that, he needs to pay some of those dues and that. So it means so much, but like I said, to be at safer side, Oxford Dictionary is an authority when it comes to the definition, and that is why I have to stay within that to say this is whosoever that belongs to any profession.
All right, interesting. Now, let's talk about your own profession, which is law. What got you interested in law?
Well, I think I've discussed this over and over. What got me interested in law, and that is one of the things that is always good. Let us pray that we have a father, not a successful father. I don't want to use the word, but you have a father that really knows what he wants for his children. I have a father who happened to be a bookseller. My father works at CSS Bookshop. We all do CMS Bookshop, CSS Bookshop. My father is a bookseller. And as God we have it, my mom too, at one point in time, happened to be a bookseller. And my dad then had this style. You know, then all the intellectuals, the elites in the society in Ibadan, we live in Ibadan, I was born in Ibadan. You know, that's the my dad office shop is like a force to go. There you see the mention the Afebawala of this world, the Wale Soyinka of this world, they will come. And my dad has one style. Anytime they place an order and they're coming to pick their order, he will ensure that one or two of his children they are around. And I've learned to do that now. Any of my children, I try to introduce them to any of my friends or my clients. And I remember that we keep on reminding them, how old are you? You are 3 years old, and mind you are meeting a senior advocate of Nigeria. You are 4 years old, you are meeting a state governor. Go and write it down. You are meeting this. And that is one of my dad's style that I picked from him. And to your question, why did I fall in love with law? With law. In one of those visits, Justice Kayode Ajulo came to the office. That is in our Adamasi. No, I think it should be in Aminekun area. The bookshop then was in Aminekun. He came, and as usual, my dad would say, "Oh, you have to stay. Somebody is coming." And when Justice Kayode Ajulo came, he was looking great with his bow tie as usual, looking dandy, just top notch. And you know, I'm sure this will not be surprising to you. My dad, to me, is the biggest thing, biggest masquerade to me. And in a situation where you now see, your biggest masquerade, courtesy, you're welcome, son, trying to take a bow. Who is this? And later, what is his name? His name is Kayode. I'm Kayode Ajulo. And the way you see the hair around him, the respect, the whole thing, and his voice clean. And you need to know Kayode Ajulo. The way he walks is so is the best. And with the way my dad is courtesy, giving all the respect, the only thing he did not do is to go flat. And because of that, I just felt, oh. Then when he left, I said, look, do you know what? I want to be Kayode Ajulo. Even right there, if anybody asks me then, what is my name? I will say my name is Kayode Ajulo. You know what I'm trying to say? And later, when it was made me to know that, oh, he's a lawyer. Oh, that is great. Not knowing that as a judge, everybody has to revere a judge. Everybody has to respect a judge. I did not see it from the point that he's being a judge. That is why my dad shows such level of reference. So along the line, I have it on my mind that yes, if my dad can show this highest form of honor as at that time, this is all I want to be. And all the ways till today, it is law. And along the line too, I remember in 1983, we came to Ondo State. I'm sure you know this issue, the political imbroglio in Ondo State, when there a lot of riots, a lot of people were killed. I think it started around September. The day we arrived Ondo State for the first time, and Ondo State happened to be my state. So it is more or less like a coming home, and we'll be looking forward to it. But unfortunately, the next day we arrived Ondo State, that's when the riot broke out. We were living around Ijapo then. You need to see the way how they were burning houses, killing people left and right. And we have an uncle then. He was a member of Ondo State for House of Assembly. He happened to be a lawyer. He's no more now. May Almighty God continue to let him rest in peace. I remember that he would come to the house. He would be the one that would narrate what happened. And along the line, it was this issue between Chief Adekunle Ajasi and Chief Akiomopori. one of the UPN and one of the MPN.
NP.
Yes, and despite the killing, because there was a time that we have to trek because our house was about to be born. We have to trek, with all those experience, and along the line, my uncle will come. We say, "Oh, don't worry, the court will settle it. Very soon we're in court now." And gradually, every day we come back home. We'll be telling my father what happened in court. He will tell me what this one called. One we mentioned, GOK Ajayi, all this one, and to the grace of God, the day, I think it should be Sir Adekunle Orojo, that's the Chief Judge of Ondo State, passed it, and to say that it is I just said that won the election, and everything went so peacefully, no war again, no noise, everything seemed to be as peaceful as anything, and that one dawned on me. I think this law is the only thing, as at that time, as at that age, that I so much have believed in. And till today, that has shaped my thinking, my perspective in my life. That no matter how difficult, how hard it is, law is there to regulate human existence. To me, law is the biggest thing that can ever happen, whosoever that fashion it. Anyway, that is what it is. Till today,
All right.
every facet of life, there's no way you can do it without law, and that is why I think that is one of the things.
Interesting. Interesting. Now, what makes a good lawyer?
Well, the question, the question is I won't say it's double-edged sword. It has every quite a lot of things. But to start with, when we talked about good lawyer, what you may call a good lawyer may be different from my definition of good lawyer. But like the way I gave the definition using the Oxford Dictionary, I'm going to say it from the position of the association, that is MBA, and what they see as a good lawyer. One of the first things is for a good lawyer to know the ethics of the industry, the ethic of the profession, that is law. Because one of the things is that when you misbehave, they quickly refer you to, I'm sorry, I'm using the word, they quickly refer you to agbero, tout. It is more like an opposite of what a good lawyer should be. No matter whatever it can be, the first thing is, mind you, we are the peddlers of law. We are big practitioners of law. And law regulate things. Ethics and rule regulate. So as for you, one of the first things that will be used to know whether you are a good or bad lawyer is how knowledgeable and how did you put into practice the rules and ethics of the profession. And once that one can be settled, then the rest you can flow with it. So like what I would say is this: the first thing is you are so abreast with the rules and ethics of the profession. Then after that, and I'm saying this because you asked the question, what makes a good lawyer? Because before you can even be a lawyer at all, you must be able to have passed through all the conditions set down. Like in Nigeria, you have to be a graduate of law. You have to pass through the law school. And one interesting thing about this is this: despite all this, irrespective of your competency, irrespective of how brilliant, how competent you are, there's one thing that we call fit and proper. Fit and proper has something to do with the ethics, for you to adhere with the ethics and the rule. Because once you cannot conform and you cannot be seen as fit and proper, then you are having problem. Even in any profession, let's make it. And that is why you notice that when you are graduating from university, yes, at during your graduation, what you make from the university will be mentioned. Maybe you'll have a first class, but what matters most is that when the vice president, we talked about that, here I present those who have proven themselves to be worthy of character. So what matters most, and I must emphasize, is good lawyer. And I want you to have in mind that when I'm talking about good lawyer, I never talked about the lawyers that drive the Bentley that drive the Rolls Royce of this world, that drive the Ferrari. No, first is the character, and that one even goes down with any other profession, even in boxing. And that's why you've noticed that even in boxing, despite the fact that in boxing it's how powerful, how skillful you are, you must be able to that there are rules. And that's why you see the referee, you see a tiny man controlling two huge Hercules. But because of the fact that they are blessed with the rule, they are blessed when the referee said you should stop, you must stop. And that is why that is one of the first thing. Then if we settle with the issue of the ethics and the rules, then the rest will now be the competence and every other things that come with it. Of course, as a good lawyer, you must have the gaps. You must know the gaps of the. You must have it. You must have it like your palms. First, the competence. You must know virtually every subject in life, because one thing that, like, you are a journalist. If today you call me to act for you, all I do is I'm like your agent. As your agent, I must be able to put myself in your position. I must be able to think as a journalist for me to know the issues and how to resolve your issue. If a doctor should come to me today to represent a doctor, I must have a clear knowledge of his trade, of his position. I must know about surgery. I must know, at least I must know one or two things. If it's going to be the issue of negligence, I must be able to know that this is the amount of drug that's being prescribed. I must be able to put myself in the position of that doctor. And even if it's an architectural issue, I must be able to know one or two things about drawing, about architecture. And that's why you see some people say, lawyer do read so much. Yes, we do read so much, because you must put yourself in that state of who you are representing. If I'm to represent the president today, I must be able to know the workings in the presidency. I must be able to know this is what the way and manner it is being done. It is so. What matters most is you need the knowledge, you need your intelligence, and you need more than that. And maybe let's put it that way, because let's try to continue to say what makes a good lawyer a good lawyer. It's quite so important.
Thank you. Now, what is the commonest mistake that most lawyers make?
Well, it now depends on the lawyer we're talking about. I think I need to place. I need to digress a little. You know, in our society, we see lawyers more of those you see in court every day. But lawyers have been diversified. You have many things. There are some entertainer lawyer. Let me start with that, because I know you'll be more familiar with them. That's when we talk about how to make my Corey and co. When we talk of gaming, that's the casino and co. We have gaming lawyer. We have corporate lawyers. At least I'm sure that's when you see the likes of Chris Ogunbanjo. So now we are talking of corporate lawyers. Then apart from that, we have the one we call the litigation lawyers, the one that go to court, that advocate, that talk, that do all that. So when we are talking a common mistake, but I think the mistake, I think is common, or is getting the brief. Because like I said earlier, primarily, irrespective of the angle, the where the one you specializes in, what matters most is that you are representing something. Most of the time, lawyer represent people. And the common mistake is getting the exact brief of what you want, what your clients want from you. And that is why one of the rules is for you to know your brief. You must know it. You can't come to me, for example, let me quickly use this one. For example, mostly now, ladies, men, each couples have matrimonial issue. Someone will come to you, tell you from the morning to evening, this is what my spouse has done. We go that you get tired, that the first thing that will come to your mind is it is divorce. You can't live with this. And the question is, did you know whether that is what your client wants? Your client sometimes may even want you to put a call to his or her spouse to look for a way to resolve the matter. So that is one of the common mistake, because as at that time, the issue may be from what has been passed to you, from what has been laid before you, you've already concluded this thing will only be on this, whereas that is another thing. So I think that should be common, the mistakes that lawyers make most of the time. I won't say issue of competence, because every lawyer has their competence in their own field, and if you are not competent, you never be called to bar. Let's be sure, let's be sincere about that.
All right, now to have a taste of success in law, what must one do?
Well, I think we've said that one. To have a taste of success. Well, I'm speaking as Kayode Ajulo. I'm not speaking for generally lawyers. And when you are talking of success, the first question we should ask ourselves is, what exactly is success? What is success to you may not be success to me, and I'm sure what is success to the Dynasty Babatunde Ogalana will not even be success to me. If you ask me what is success, I may say, oh, let me attain the sick. That would not be the lot of Babatunde Ogala, the learned sick now, because he has done that. Maybe his success is now to be the governor of Lagos State, or his success maybe even be the president of Nigeria, or who knows. His success is to say, oh, I want my son to be the next sick. It varies. It depends. And again, and another thing we need to know is that success is not a destination. It is more like a journey. Success to a young lawyer may be to acquire one skill, or to acquire one certification. I remember about 20 years ago, all I call success for me is, now I'm now a lawyer. I want to have my master's. After having the master's, I want to have my doctorate. After having the doctorate, I want to be a fellow of this. Or maybe, as at that time 20 years ago, I was driving a Mercedes Benz. Now I want to change it to another brand. Now, success to some young lawyers is to drive a particular car, and to some people, success is to drive a car maybe 2021. So success itself is, you have to identify success with your desire, as against want, and how you're able to attain that. And to me, and that is the definition of success. Like I said earlier, it varies.
Okay, to Dr. Kayode Ajulo, what is success to you now as a person?
Well,
Let's narrow it down.
The immediate success is to be a fellow of all we have subscribed to, of all the association. We have the Charter Institute of Arbitration, we have the Charter Institute, we have the forensic examiners, to be at least to get to a point that where you be called a success to the fellow, and again to attain the sick. I must be sincere. That is success to me.
Okay. Now, how soon do you think you'll attain the sick? Because the other ones talking about fellows and co, you've been able to get those ones. When is the silk coming?
Well, one thing is one of the things lawyers have been warned not to do is to predict the outcome of a case. Like, for example, you are giving me a case and you tell me, am I going to win this case or not? Woe betide me as a lawyer to tell you, yes, you are going to win. It is, even if no matter how sure I am, it's the same thing. It is on this issue too, to tell you this or that. The only thing I should do is I pray for me. Let the Almighty God answer my prayer, and everybody praying, and for you to be found worthy, because it is like it is being said, it's more of a privilege, and it's where your peers, they believe you attain this and it's given to you. Even I see it more. It is not. It goes beyond your what you put in. It is more to it. So, and I think, and that's why you can see that the likes of Babatunde Ogala and those, we curry their favor, we look for them, we look for a, because it has to be, it is not only about you, it is about others that have come across you in one way or the other. So I cannot, in all honesty and modesty, say this is when it is. It is when the Almighty God and all the power that be say it is this, and that's when it will be.
All right, I like that. So, what do you like most about being a lawyer?
One of the things for you to be successful, one of the things that you have to be told is that you have to know yourself. know yourself. Even you can see Erasmus say it, man, know thyself. And the joy of knowing that you're a lawyer, because knowing lawyer, that's why you are being called learned. Learned is different from you know something. Learned is more, if I should start explain the concept of you being called learned gentleman, means so much. It's like, I remember there was a time I met one of my friends who is a general, a brigadier, told me that I know what it means to be called a fine fine officer. It means, it connotes just mentioning that I'm an officer. The same thing as a lawyer. For people to see you and to regard you as a learned gentleman, it means so much. And that is why in your conduct, both in and outside of your office, it means so much. And again, it is expected that the society expected so much from you. I think that is the biggest joy. The biggest joy to know that the obligation, your responsibility to those around you, in your family, in your office, outside, it is different. If, for example, if you see some people fighting, and somebody should say, oh, is one of MC Oluomo's boys, that's the Agbero, you say, oh, no wonder, it's expected. But to see a lawyer, a lot of people will be disappointed in you. So your conduct, the idea that you know yourself, you know, this is who I am, as me, you can't expect me to be driving and somebody try to pass and I should be shouting and somebody say, hi, is that not Kayode Ajulo? You know what it is. Or, even driving, going to bank, talking, everything is measured. You are always conscious, and I think that is the most exciting thing of being a lawyer to me. That you are conscious that the society, so much is expected of you, and because of that, to whom much is given, of course, much is expected, and that one alone to be the greatest.
All right. What don't you like about being a lawyer?
What I don't like is people's perception sometimes, particularly when they think that you are a miracle worker. That is one of the problems. Imagine someone calling you late in the night, so thing is happening, speak to my lawyer, and they want you to that everybody always believe that you have so much extra power to make things, and particularly when you know your limitation. Of course, sometimes you say, why am I a lawyer? You know what I'm trying to say. I think that because there are some expectation that can be overwhelming, and again, even everywhere. Like, for example, I'm going to my state, in the state. Let me give you an example. I remember when I lost my dad, when I was having, when I lost my dad. Now, the entire family were so more, and I happen to be one of the youngest in the family. But one of the things, and that's why I said the realization that you're a lawyer, start from there. Everybody, what they want to say is that one of the sons is a lawyer. In the church, where is the lawyer? At home, where is the lawyer? During the party, where is the lawyer? Whereas you have brothers who are well-to-do, who are doing virtually well. But in our society, we have this idea that if you are not a lawyer, you are not a doctor, then I don't think what are you doing? I must confess, I know of a society, I know of a city in Nigeria that if you are not found in an engineer, what they will just tell you that you are a scammer. I know that, and I know some people have lost their birthright, maybe chieftaincy, kinship, for the fact that he is not a lawyer, he is not a doctor, he is not an engineer. The only thing that I don't want to mention the name of the town or the city. So the expectation is so high, and I think we thank God, but those are the things.
All right. What is the greatest thing that being a lawyer has done for you?
Oh, well, it is the daily. To mention greatest things is so scary, because I don't even know where I can put. But let me tell you. Let me quickly say it this way: the greatest thing that being a lawyer, it can be. It has to do with your experience and your expectation and what you feel. Let me tell you quickly this. I mentioned how what made me to read law, and this is like a debate in my family. We are an Anglican. We are Christian of Anglican faith. And I remember that my dad and my mom kept saying that we want you to be a bishop. Are you with me? We want you to be a bishop. And I remember that while growing up, when I mentioned finally to my mother that I'm going to study law, it became a bit disturbed to her. Lawyers lies, they do this, they do that. But and I remember one day she called me because I know she's a bit funny with the church. She told me, and I told her, I said, look, don't be surprised. Despite being a lawyer, I will make you proud one day. I'm talking of a mom. I'm talking of my mom because I'm a little bit, I have some emotional attachment with my mom. And I told her I'm going to make you happy one day. So along the line, the Chief Justice of my state, Justice Kumuyi, that was the day he called me. And again, with 2 or 3 other people, told me that I'm going to be the Dowsina registrar. And to be a Dowsina registrar, you have to be a lawyer. And the day of the investiture, I saw my mother crying. And when I asked her why, that's when she told me that, you've done all I really want you to do in this life. You are standing with the bishop. The bishop is holding your hand and took you around the highs of the church with all the hijacking, all the you know how it is in Anglican church.
Yeah.
Where even the position you are even holding seem to even be more than what I really want you to do. To me, because of the attachment I have with her, I've been able to make her so proud to even cry in the church. So to me, that is what the Lord
All
really
right.
wants to do for me.